Late-night journeys are meant to be quiet escapes from the chaos of the day. But for Claire, it became a descent into the unknown, a nightmare where silence itself became the loudest scream. Claire steps out of a quiet, dimly lit cafe. The streets are deserted, bathed in the eerie glow of flickering streetlights. She checks her phone, shivering slightly as a cold breeze brushes past her. It's past midnight, and the suburban streets have never felt lonelier. Claire slides into the car, her bag resting on her lap. The driver, a middle-aged man with tired, sunken eyes, nods but avoids making direct eye contact. He offers a nervous greeting before gripping the wheel tightly. The car interior feels off. The faint smell of air freshener mixes with something metallic, something unplaceable. Claire looks out the window, the rhythmic sound of the car's engine soothing her nerves. But the driver keeps glancing nervously in the rearview mirror. Rough night? Claire asks lightly. The driver hesitates, his voice low. You could say that. Minutes pass in tense silence. Claire notices the driver's knuckles are white from gripping the wheel. He begins muttering under his breath, words Claire can't quite make out. The car slows as they approach an empty intersection. Then she hears it, a faint whisper, like someone breathing words into her ear. Startled, Claire pulls out her headphones, turning sharply. The back seat looks empty, but the air feels heavy, oppressive. Did you hear that? She asks. The driver stiffens, avoiding her gaze. I told them not to send me out tonight, he murmurs, almost to himself. The driver abruptly pulls over, his breath shallow and quick. He twists around in his seat, his voice a frantic whisper. You need to get out. Now. Claire stares at him, confused and scared. What are you talking about? We're not even close to my house. There's something in the back seat, he says, his eyes darting behind her. Claire's blood runs cold. She looks at the back seat again, this time more closely. The darkness feels alive, pulsating, as though it's watching her. Claire's hand trembles as she turns fully toward the back seat. At first, she sees nothing but shadow. Then, a pair of glowing red eyes pierce through the darkness, locking onto hers. The figure begins to move, its form indistinct yet horrifying. Long, skeletal fingers stretch out toward her, their movements deliberate and slow. A low, guttural growl fills the car, vibrating through her chest. The driver screams, bolting from the car and leaving Claire trapped. The doors won't open, the locks clicking loudly as though controlled by an unseen force. Claire screams, banging on the windows, but the car refuses to let her out. The figure leans closer, its breath cold against her neck. It whispers her name, the voice grating like nails on a chalkboard. Gathering her courage, Claire swings her bag at the figure. It vanishes for a moment, but the oppressive darkness only grows stronger. The locks click open suddenly, and she tumbles out of the car, gasping for air. The driver stands a few feet away, trembling. I warned you, he whispers. Claire looks back at the car. It sits motionless, its headlights casting a sickly yellow glow. Then she notices it, a faint handprint on the inside of the rear window, larger than any human hand should be. The driver refuses to take her further, leaving her at a nearby convenience store. As she waits for a friend to pick her up, Claire receives a text from an unknown number. The message reads, "You should have stayed in the car." Her heart stops. She looks up just in time to see the same car drive past the store. This time, the back seat isn't empty. The driver insists on leaving her at the nearest convenience store. Claire sits on the curb, calling a friend to pick her up. She glances at her phone and notices an unread message from an unknown number. You should have stayed in the car. Her breath catches. When she looks up, she sees the same car driving away, but this time, the back seat isn't empty. In the dead of night, when the world sleeps, there are passengers who ride with us, unseen and unwanted. Claire thought she was going home, but she was wrong. Some journeys take you far beyond where you ever wanted to go.